folks, Silver Smoke coming at you with a new video. I'm making this video because I recently encountered this article online discussing how California can't go it alone on guns. And the tagline to this article, written by George Skelton of the Capital Journal and the LA Times out of Sacramento as of January 20th, 2013, today, he's stating that without stiffer national penalties, the state's tough weapons laws don't stand a chance against Arizona and Nevada wide open markets. And you have a photo here of a couple of folks looking at an AR-15 at an open market display. Articles like this annoy me greatly because they present a picture that is completely false, as you'll soon discover in the documentation I'm going to show you guys today. Obviously, firearms laws and gun control is a topical issue now due to the events of Newtown, Connecticut, and that very tragic situation there. We have to, as a nation, not only acknowledge the public issues like Newtown and the spree shootings like Virginia Tech and so forth, but we also need to acknowledge gun violence as a recurring problem that some people live with and in some cases don't live with on a daily basis. My home city of Chicago is one of the most deadly cities in America, and their gun laws are as tough as you can make it without, or actually even including outright prohibition in some cases. So clearly, if there is a policy directive that the government can even do about firearms, gun control in its current form is not going to work. This is something I think all of us, pro and anti-gun, can agree with on a logical level, and I'll prove that here today. Basically, articles like this annoy me greatly because the media likes to use this issue to generate viewings and ratings and rile people up. If you read this article and didn't know anything about guns, which admittedly majority of Americans don't, they would assume that you could just drive over the border and buy whatever gun you want to and bring it into California and it would be legal. Worse, there are many people who would assume that bad guys are doing that, meaning that they're leaving California, going to neighboring states like Arizona, Nevada, buying rifles like that, and then taking them right over the border in the trunks of their cars and using them to cause all kinds of mayhem. This is a popular image that a lot of media articles like to use, and a lot of politicians even like to reference as justification for extending ineffective gun control laws on a national level. And I'm going to show you guys why that's not the case. If you bear with me, we're going to now look at the ATF's Youth Crime Initiative. I've got my trusty Smith & Wesson 5904 here, acting as a book holder for the moment. Very good weapon, and I've done a review on that in my other video. So if you want to know more about it, check out my other links in the YouTube section of my screen tab there. But anyways, back to the topic at hand. We have Youth Crime Gun Interdiction Initiative, Crime Gun Trace Analysis Report, the illegal youth firearms market in Inglewood, California, as compiled by the Department of the Treasury, Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, which is an authority that I think all of us can recognize as a premier law enforcement agency in terms of dealing with firearms. This is out of a volume I checked out at my local library, so if you want to look at this yourself, feel free to, and I invite you to please go to your local library and read up on this stuff. All the information that you want to know about issues like gun violence, you can read up here, something that apparently the folks at the LA Times just couldn't be bothered to do, and I'll show you why. There's a lot of excellent pages here, but what I want to discuss here is this page here regarding ATF Crime Gun Trace Analysis Report from Inglewood, California. And what all this says basically is looking at the final summary of firearms that the ATF has recovered from bad guys and traced in the course of law enforcement investigations, we discover that under this tab it shows crime guns in this jurisdiction, which is again Inglewood, California, crime gun source state. Now what this table does is it breaks down the source state of the firearms they've recovered and the number of crime guns acquired and percentage of the total. So if the LA Times was correct, we would see that a majority of firearms coming into California that the police are taking off of bad guys would be from Arizona and Nevada and other states with lower restrictions on firearms. If we look at the report, we see that California's number of crime guns, 81, the percentage total that the ATF has recovered and traced is 64.8%. So most of the firearms that the bad guys are using are coming from that own state. None of them are being imported from outside of California by the truckload. The assertion by media articles like the one you just saw that people are buying guns in other states and importing them into California for illicit use is false, because the statistics right here prove number of crime guns 81, 64.8%. So more than half of the weapons that are being taken off these bad guys in Inglewood, California are coming from California themselves. And if we look at other states, we have Arizona, okay, number 7. That's 5.6%. So if we go down the list here, it gets even lower than that. Florida, okay, 4, 3.2%. Texas, 3.2%. Nevada, 3.2%. Okay, and we look down the list at Georgia, 2.4%, and then 1.6%. We even have some from New York, okay, which is 1.6%, and New York has equally tough gun laws as California does. In fact, now that the SAFE Act has come out, they're even more tougher than California is, even though at the time of this report they were obviously about the same in terms of restrictions. So, essentially, most of the firearms that we see in this report that are, that are being used in crimes are coming from California themselves. Okay, they're not being imported by some underground smuggling ring and then sold from the gun stores of Arizona, Texas, and all these other places. As you can see here, the entire list of every other state that these guns are being picked up from doesn't even equal the number of guns that are being taken in California. So if we want to regulate firearms among bad guys, the proposal that we should make gun laws equally restrictive across the entire nation, that's just not even the case. So just wanted to make this video to show you guys. Again, this is from the ATF's Youth Crime Gun Initiative program. Again, Inglewood, California, Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. I invite you all to please look at this yourselves. Go to your libraries, go to your local, local stores, and get this. Check it out, read it, know the truth. Don't listen to these folks that will try to, throw up a bunch of stuff on the internet and hope that you buy into their swill. Okay, do your own homework, do your own critical thinking. Before you vote or support a policy directive, don't do like these people do. Look it up, check it out, review the facts for yourselves. You might be pleasantly surprised, or unpleasantly surprised, depending on your viewpoint. So I think all of us can find common ground, and the common ground has to start with the facts. So thanks for watching. Good hunting, good searching, good shooting, safe travels. Silver Smoke signing off.